Hi, in this RepricerExpress video, we're going to take a look at automations and how you can set one up tied to your sales. An automation, basically in RepricerExpress, allows you to move products from one rule to another based on a trigger or criteria that you choose. In this case, we're going to base it on sales. Just to get started with an automation, go up to Repricing and then Automations. Once you've got to the automation screen, you can choose to set up an automation based on our pre-built templates, or, as we're going to do in this demonstration, we're going to create a new automation from scratch. The first thing to do with your new automation is to give it a name and choose which marketplace this is going to apply to. Once you've done this, it's time to set up the triggers. The triggers are the guts of how the automation works. The first thing to determine is when this automation will apply. In this case, we want to base it on our sales. So from the list, we choose sales. At this stage, we get to determine what criteria of sales we want to use. For this particular automation, we want it to apply to low selling products. So we'll choose sales less than, and in this case it will be £150 in the past 7 days. It's also worth noting that you can put multiple triggers into play. So for example, I could have this apply specifically to FBA or MFN products, or maybe other products that are in a price war or have different quantity levels. You can be very specific about how it works and what it does. The next thing you need to determine is where the products are going to move from. You can have it move from all products or all rules, or you can choose specific rules that it will only go from. Next, you determine where it's going to move to. I previously set up a rule which is more aggressive, which is where I want the products to move to. So I'm going to move it to my low sales rule. Finally, as part of the triggers, we need to determine what happens if the trigger no longer applies. i.e., in this example, sales have increased and they're now selling more than £150 in the past 7 days. You can choose to have it move back to the original rule, or you can leave it as part of this automation if you'd prefer. Once we've made our choices, we hit save. And now it's also time to have a look at the timing section. Timings allow you to lock in your automation for a set period of time if you choose, or set a start and end date for the automation. Both of these settings are optional though, so you don't need to set them if you're not looking to use them. Finally, we get an idea of the number of products that are going to be affected by this automation, so you have an idea of how it's going to impact your account. Then you simply hit Set Live Now to get the automation running. Thanks for joining us today, and please have a great day.